So this is your good buddy DJ Clive saying until next time. What the hell did you hit me?
The harbinger he would be makes his entrance or exit via portal most familiar. A vision, a prelude of the second layer of doom. I'm hungry.
Can't stop the blurty pop, nor can you stop Candy Pop brand Sour Patch Kid flavored popcorn. Enjoy the crispy, crunchy, salty taste of this delicious bag of popcorn, but with a twist, that of real bits of Sour Patch Kids. The mouth-watering, puckering gumdrop candy that has taken the world by storm. Sweet and salty is one thing, but never before have you tried a snack that is sweet, salty, sour, chewy, and crunchy.
What the? Hey! What's going on? This is a mutiny! Who's responsible for this? The truth? What are you two babbling about? I am an open book! You guys know everything there is to know about me! Everything! You didn't see me naked for crying out loud! Oh! Is that all? It's quite simple. They're just out of style, dude. That's all it is. I thought I'd get one more wear out of them, and then, I don't know, I thought I'd maybe switch to t-shirts.
Tell you anything.
Wait! Wait, guys. Okay. Okay, the shirts, they are important. I figured something out in episode 271. I figured out a riddle. You know the one! Our sins and all the last rain drips with hemoglobin. I just wanted to give the viewers a little bit of time to figure out the riddle for themselves. That's all. I wasn't keeping anything from you. Hourglass sands are a measure of time left. And what hangs on a rod? A shirt. Those shirts on that rod represent a countdown. The last remaining drips with hemoglobin. The red one. The one that I've worn during some of my most pivotal moments. The ones in my logos. Once I'm down to that last red shirt, that's the last grain of sand to fall. I was reminded of the times I was visited by a harbinger. One signaled my death, the other took Jello away. I was shown a third! An unidentifiable creature of some sort, standing in my kitchen. What that creature will do, I don't know. But it's going to spell the end. Possibly. To everything. Why, you little... You guys better untie me now, or what I'm gonna do to you is gonna be so heinous! The ASPCA in the living world is gonna hear about it! Life is a road that I want to keep going. Love is a river I want to keep flowing. Life is a road now and forever. Wonderful journey. No. Allow me, please. This one indulgence. I'll be there when the world stops turning. I'll be there when the storm is through. In the end, I want to be standing at the beginning with you. It's been a long journey to get here, hasn't it? A journey wrought with pain, anguish, and hurt. And about a billion other ways to say the same goddamn thing. But has this journey been as spectacular as the journey made by your good friend, the Sour Patch Kid? It's been a long road to get to where they are. The journey to the Sour Patch Kid starts with the Cabbage Patch Kid. And you people at home, most of the people watching this right now, have no idea just how big the Cabbage Patch Kid was in its heyday. You have to have been alive like in the early 80s to have appreciated that. I mean, nowadays you see things that are kind of similar, like the Nintendo Switch is like really hard to get at your electronics and toy stores. The Tickle Me Elmo was a pretty memorable thing. Nobody could find it and people were like tackling each other in the mall to try to get one of these things. Well, all those instances paled in comparison to the hoopla that was the Cabbage Patch Kid. I am the youngest of 3 children, and one of my siblings was a female. And every female in the 80s had to have one of these things. It was a written rule! And there was a fun little gimmick when it came to the Cabbage Patch Kid. Because of the way they were marketed and they were supposedly so ultra realistic and it felt like you were holding a real baby child, you didn't just go to a store and buy a Cabbage Patch Kid, no! You had to fill out paperwork and you had to adopt A Cabbage Patch Kid! I still remember that cold winter day in the stock room at Toys R Us. I don't know why I tagged along that day. I mean, I suppose it was the allure of Toys R Us that my parents were actually going there and they weren't gonna take me. I felt left out. I thought, hey, free trip to Toys R Us. I just want to look around and window shop. But by the time we got there, it was already closed. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And we were in this stock room just listening to the echoey sounds of the forklifts and the people shouting and cussing at each other and the beep, 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 like vehicles back and forth up to the dock and all that. We were waiting there for like over an hour. And finally, my sister got her Cabbage Patch Kid. It had a slightly larger nose than she wanted, but you know what? Once you got that Cabbage Patch Kid, you didn't want to go back and go through all that again. I think that's part of the reason why they made it so painful. So the point I'm trying to get to here is Cabbage Patch Kids for about 2 years was the biggest dang blang thing in the whole world. And obviously when that happens, the floodgates open and everybody wants a piece of that pie. In come the imposters. This brings us to part 2 of this story. The Garbage Pail Kids! Cabbage Patch Kids were the biggest fad of all time for little girls. They were like their raison d'etre, their meaning of life. But little boys, they hated those things. They wanted to see them strung up and mutilated. And I burned my share of Cabbage Patch Kids in the day, can you tell? It's so funny what happens when you put an open flame next to a Cabbage Patch Kid. They were really safe and flame retardant, so when the flame came anywhere near that stuff, it just burnt away, disappeared right before your eyes, and went poof, and there'd be a hole right there. I suggest you try it someday. It's actually quite fascinating. And the people at Topps Trading Card Company, they were brilliant. They saw this reaction, this negative reaction that little boys were having to Cabbage Patch Kids, and they decided to capitalize off of it, and they made the Garbage Pail Kids. And they weren't hiding from it. They were obviously Cabbage Patch Kids, drawn to resemble Cabbage Patch Kids, being mutilated, being set on fire, being melted, being flushed down toilets. And then there were other ones that were like grungied and dirtied up, maybe to look like gross, like they were spilling boogers out of their nose. Or I remember one was like a greaser. He kind of looked like the Fonz. There was another one that looked like a killer transformer. As a little kid, I was obsessed with Garbage Pail Kids. I hated my sister's Cabbage Patch Kids so much, I wanted to see that thing burn to hell. So you better believe I collected Series 1 to Series 5 or 6. I don't know where I stopped. I even wasted tons of money trying to get that Schizophrenic card, which was banned because schizophrenic, and it was like, I was considered offensive or something like that, and it was out of print. It didn't stop me from just buying pack after pack after pack of card and seeing nothing but Fran. That was a substitution. Now is the time where I see if you were paying good enough attention. If Garbage Pail Kids were just as big as Cabbage Patch Kids, what do you suppose happened next? Give up? History has a tendency to repeat itself. The floodgates opened, and out flowed all the imposters! That brings us on to part 3! All the dime store versions of the Garbage Pail Kids! I remember when Trash Can Tots first became a thing. I was in between collecting Garbage Pail Kids, I think between Series 2 and 3. And I saw these pop up at my local Newberry's. I thought, why not? This will be a good way to pass the time. So I picked up a pack of 3, I opened them up, and I was done after my first purchase. I mean, yeah, their hearts were in the right place, but Garbage Pail Kids look legit. Like actual mutilated Cabbage Patch Kids. These, they just look like some random doodles. Like maybe you would draw on the margins of your notebook while you're drifting off in class. And then I definitely remember something like Grossville High or something like that. And then Mad and Cracked magazine would constantly have Garbage Pail Kid parodies on the covers. Note to self and all y'all watching, parodies on the whole are good, clean, fun stuff. But parodies of parodies, almost 100% of the time, stink. I wish I could tell that to my 11-year-old self because I made Reject Animals from the Cosmos, which was a parody of Spaceballs!
That's amazing. I want to go to Earth and talk to him. Advance to ludicrous speed! Stop film, sir. That's plagiarism. If Mel Brooks got a hold of this, we'd be dead ducks.
Alright, that one bit was pretty funny. And amidst all those ripoffs, amidst all those failures, arose the the Sour Patch Kid, an edible form of your Cabbage Patch Kid parody! That's right, I'm sure a lot of you people out there all this time thought it was a coincidence, but I lived through it, so I know! The Sour Patch Kid is part of all those slews of ripoffs that came out in part 3 of this story, and it's kind of funny to go back and genuflect on that because Cabbage Patch Kids on the whole, you hear about them every once in a while, but they're pretty much gone. Garbage Pail Kids, they're pretty much gone as well. You might see some like nostalgic nods to them every once in a while. They might pop up in Ready Player One or something like that. But no, of all of those things, even the things that they were parodying in the first place, this was the last one standing. And it's not just the last one standing amongst the 3, it's thriving. A Sour Patch Kid is just as common as like a Skittle or like an M&M. They've become an institution. And even today in the year 2022, you will see people incorporating the Sour Patch Kids tastes into other foods. Sour Patch Kids soda, Sour Patch Kids Pop-Tarts, Sour Patch Kids breakfast cereal. It's just as relevant now as it ever was. And not only is it still relevant, not only is it still relevant, but I have a feeling that this is gonna taste... It's gonna taste delicious because Sour Patch Kids on the whole taste delicious, right? Go ahead and get a smell of it. Oh good, I got it. Ugh. Oh, okay. Alright, it smelled kind of gross in the beginning, but now that I get really close up on it, yeah, I can smell little bits of Sour Patch Kids in there. Alright, so let me just move this out of the way, and how am I gonna do this? I guess I'll just pour some on the table. Should I be concerned about that, you think? Oh wow, look at this, they're all ooey gooey and stuck to each other. I wonder what that's all about. Maybe I'll read the ingredients after I take this first bite and try to explain. Wow, that is really, really good. I mean, I don't know how sour it is. I didn't expect it to be sour though. So they kind of prepare this like a kettle corn. It has kind of like a sugary layer around it, and that's what was causing the pieces to get stuck together. They call it a confectionery coating. It consists of sugar, palm kernel oil, non-fat dry milk, soy lecithin, and salt. And you will see all sorts of little different flecks of color there. That color is legit little tiny bits of Sour Patch Kids candy. Like, denigrated to crumbs. And normally I slam a product when I can't tell whether or not it's a candy or a snack. Well, this first and foremost is a snack. You can just plow through a whole bag of this while watching TV, no problem. It's just got a little bit of a candy... Oh, okay. Whew, that was scary. A candy tang. So if I were to give this a star rating, let me just get one more fistful. This is an easy 4.5 stars. It's brilliant. This was the perfect thing to come back to after my dogs nearly tortured me to death. And you know, if you should be unlucky enough to find yourself in that same situation, where your dogs are pinning you down to the ground and sticking a metal helmet on your head and attaching electrodes to you, I suggest you go to a specialty store and you buy yourself a bag of this. Candy Pop Popcorn with the sour then sweet flavor of Sour Patch Kids. I guarantee I won't steer you wrong. This is your good buddy. This is your good buddy. Shoot. This is your good buddy DJ.